What is going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden J here. What's going on, everyone? Please drop a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. We got a couple people in the chat already, so let's get rocking. I don't want to waste too much time on here. We don't really have super much to talk about in terms of recaps and stuff. We did watch the live stream together for most of the part. I went live for pretty much all of yesterday's game with some great guys. And then in terms of the game before that, I went live for the last two innings. So not really a whole lot to talk about in terms of recaps because we kind of got most of that down. But I think we may as well still touching it. So please, everyone, drop a like, comment, subscribe. We're at 13 likes already. That's great. We didn't even start the stream really yet, and we got 13 likes on it. So I really appreciate it, everyone. Trust me, it really means a lot. I know it may not sound like it, but it does. Trust me. So I think we should get started into today's news. We got plenty of stuff to talk about, recaps. I got all my notes here. So I'm excited for that. Let me just get my notes organized. Apparently someone was rude and stumbled over it. So that's always not very fun. So we're going to get right into today's stream. We got a ton of great stuff to talk about. We're going to go over the Mets and we are going to go over the Mets and Orioles series recap, summary, as well as the Mets and Tampa Bay Rays series preview. And then we are going to go over how the Oakland Athletics potentially may be moving to how the Oakland Athletics may potentially be moving. And I don't know if many of you guys know this, but that was actually my first video on the channel was talking about that. So yeah, please, if you don't mind, check that out. So I think we should honestly get right into today's news. Stop wasting any time. I apologize about that. I would organize all my notes and everything. Sometimes I could be very disorganized. So pretty much brief summary on what's going on with the Mets. Great sweep. We swept back-to-back series, so I always appreciate a back-to-back series sweep. That's always something good in my hands. I always enjoy the sweeps. So let's get into it. So game one, which was Tuesday's game, the Mets had the comeback 3-2. That was a great comeback win. I don't even know what to say about that game. That game was nuts. Taking just a general look at it, we see Marcus Stroman was going against John Means. And honestly, it really was a pitching duel. John Means, it was his first appearance since the no-hitter that he had in Seattle. So I was a little nervous about that. And then we had Marcus Stroman, who had a lot of goals going into this game in terms of getting the walk rate lower and getting more strikeouts and less ground balls. So that was his goal. Stroman pitched very well. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So he didn't sustain his goal in terms of strikeouts and less ground balls and walks. Well, no, I mean, it's not so much walks, more ground balls with Stroman. But in terms of that, everything went fine until Freddie Galvis. He was kind of the Orioles' hero for the meantime, where he drove in 2 RBIs on a sac fly, and he bunted it a run right down the third baseline. Jonathan Villar could not get the throw. Luckily, the Mets didn't quit. Their bats definitely came back. Like I said, the Mets at times, they don't know how to lose. Their bats are very electric. In the 8th and 9th inning, it came back. Conforto started off with an RBI single, and then Smith drove in another RBI single to tie up the game. And then obviously we had Aaron Loop come in, 0.2 innings pitched. Trevor May, an inning pitched, 2 hits, a run, and 2 strikeouts. And then Familia, who gets the W, of course, an inning pitched, a walk, and a strikeout. Obviously, the bases were loaded. We had Villar on third, great speed on the base pass, so he was definitely a concern. And then Patrick Mazeika, who had a walk-off days prior, he went up to the dish, hit a light droopler right to the first baseman. Mancini threw it, couldn't get it home in time, and Villar was safe. The Mets took the W in that 4-3. Just what a walk-off in general, just a guy who really can it's just crazy to think about. It really is mind-boggling, just mind-boggling to think about it. It's just astonishing that this team comes back from this. And, I was frustrated. I was here, cursing and kicking and everything. And, I wasn't too fond of all this thing that was going on. So definitely a great comeback. So then in terms of game 2, which I guess we could talk about it a fair bit. I did go live for it. So most of you guys probably saw my reaction, but who knows? I mean, it was during this day. A lot of people were at work. A lot of people were at school. So, we don't really know who was around to watch and not watch it. So in terms of game two, it looked good. It was Wednesday's game, which was yesterday. Like I stated, we did go live for that. It was Taijuan Walker against the former New York Met, Matt Harvey, who had quite a ride. We're going to get into that in a bit, but Taijuan Walker had another great day. He found his command, finding the strike zone. He's a light contact pitcher to bat ratio, so he was great with that. Otherwise, no complaints with him. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and he lowered his ERA to 2.20. So has one of the lowest ERAs, lower ERA than Trevor Bauer. So pretty interesting to think about it like that. Then we had Robert Gsellman, who came in an inning, 2 walks. He got out of a bases-loaded jam, a little bit of an issue. So, he luckily was able to retrieve that. And then obviously Drew Smith came in for the first time since his injury. He was on the AL for quite a bit. He came in with the game, got a strikeout to get the win. It was not a save situation, of course, because it was such a big gap. 7-1, the Mets won. And pretty much, the bats were elite. We went 7 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Explain to me, when was the last time we've done that? I don't know. I really don't know when was the last time we went 7 for 2 with runners in scoring position. I really don't know. If you guys could tell me when was the last time we went 7 for 10 with runners in scoring position, trust me, I'd love to know. But just the fact that this was an issue that everyone was facing a while ago, and we came back from it. We really did. We came back from it, and that's always what I enjoy. Checking Twitter, there is some stuff I do want to mention, actually, because some news just came up in terms of Twitter. So pretty much that was that. Bats were elite, 7 for 10 with runners in scoring position. We only left 5 on base, and we had 10 hits overall. Our bats definitely woke up. They were electric. Definitely emotional to see Matt Harvey. However, Harvey did not have a great return to Citi Field as a dark night on the Mets Citi Field mound. 4.1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 4.81 ERA. Pretty struggling for him. Mets defense really came into effect. You had Kevin Pillar with that great catch in center field. I think it was the second batter of the game. We noticed there was some communication issues there with Dom and Pillar. Dominic Smith definitely needs to work in his communication in terms of third base, shortstop, and just everyone, because he doesn't, as I always say, talk to each other. He doesn't talk to each other much. So definitely an issue. So I don't know. That's something Dom Smith is going to have to work out, no doubt. Great game, honestly, overall, in terms of game 2. The defense really came into clutch. Not gonna lie. Defense really came into clutch. It really did. And then we had that crazy catch by Michael Conforto. I think it was in the second or third inning. It was early on in the game where he had that great diving catch. And Conforto, don't mess with him. He's listen, center, outfield, right field, center. It may be compacted, but Conforto definitely can fit into that group of talent. Don't neglect him. I'll say that. He definitely is not worth neglecting Conforto because he knows what to do. But that was in terms of the Mets and Orioles series recap. Overall, great series. Pitching was key on. In point of Matt Harvey, I do want to touch on Matt Harvey. Definitely sad to see just how it went down. Sorry, I'm getting a text from someone. So honestly, in terms of Matt Harvey, it's definitely unfortunate how it really went down. I mean, we looked at Matt Harvey's career, and I watched the press conference with him yesterday, and it was really sad. I'm not gonna lie. I watched it, and it kind of made me feel emotional. It brought back, it was very, very, very nostalgic. Brought back a ton of great memories from when he pitched. When he came up in this team in 2013. And he stated, he said, "Oh well, we had a lot to offer," and he did offer a lot. He claims maybe he could have tried more. In my opinion, I think Harvey probably could. Could he have tried more? I don't know. Should he have listened to his manager's extent more? Yes. Should he have made different personal choices? Yes. In terms of baseball, I think he did everything that he was expected to do. I just don't think it really ended in the result. He got injuries. He got Tommy John. He had a ton of injuries. And unfortunately, he couldn't pull himself back from everything. And that's why when a lot of pitchers get injured, I get very nervous because I look at guys like, Matt Harvey, and he's a prime example. So that's why when, DeGrom is everyone hurt, that's why I get a little nervous. I mean, DeGrom is much more of a key all-star Hall of Famer than Harvey ever was or ever will be. But, I want to make sure you guys can see my point in terms of why. But yeah, honestly, that's that with that. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I wanted to get with Harvey. He's a great player. I mean, it's unfortunate that it went down like this. But hey, listen, that's how the cookie crumbles. I mean, it's unfortunate that everything just took a big turn, really, really all at once. Really did. So please, everyone, drop a comment, LFGM, whatever you guys could do. I'd appreciate it. Let's get it rolling in the chat a bit here more. I do want to briefly go over the Mets and the Tampa Bay Rays series preview. We all know how much I like to talk about the previews. To be honest with you, I'm very questionable coming ahead with the Rays. They've been hot. I mean, they had that troubling series against the Yankees, but don't neglect the Rays, and that's the thing. Do not neglect the Rays because they are a team that put us back a little last year. So in terms of game one, it is a Friday game at 7:10, and we will have David Peterson against Tyler Glasnow, which is definitely a big concern. We see David Peterson is coming off one of his worst starts in his major league career so far, and really a season. We saw in his last start against the D-backs, he allowed 3 runs, 1 hit batter, a pair of walks, and in only 2 innings against the D-backs. So I think Peterson will definitely have to look for an extremely fresh start. That is something crucial. And then, as we know, he is a ground ball pitcher, of course. Honestly, my goal with him is to keep the walk rate low. Obviously, he's not going to, throw a ton of strikeouts or anything like that. But I think the thing will be is get through those first 3 innings. Because once you're through those first 3 innings, you faced at least, hopefully, all of the lineup. And then that way you're in a rhythm. And that's what happens with Peterson. He's a young pitcher. Technically, I still want to call him a rookie because, he didn't even have a full season. He's kind of like Steven Matz. If something goes against him, it really gets to his head, and he can't let it go. We saw with the umpire, he gave a call that he didn't like, and he was like, screaming and stuff. And it's like Steven Matz. And then, obviously, not even baseball, not from a baseball perspective, but from an emotional perspective, if you work yourself up, it's not going to make the situation better. So that's what happens with David Peterson. He goes out there, he starts off hot, gets a thing or two in his head, and it sticks with him, and it just drags him down, and he can't get back up from it. So that's something he's going to have to work on. Therapist, I have no idea. But that's the thing with Peterson. And then we got the Tyler Glasnow beast, who I'm very concerned with. Looking at him, obviously, we know there were talks this offseason about him having a third pitch. I don't know if he does have a third pitch. Please let me know in the comments if he does. Because looking at Baseball Savant, I don't really see anything, to be honest with you. So yeah, please let me know in the comments if he has a third pitch. Because I know he had the 2 pitches. I know that he had the 4-seamer and the changeup. And I think they said he was working on like a slider or something, which was very deadly from what I've heard. So yeah, please let me know in the comments below. And as we know, his slider has crazy movement. And that's why, when they talk about wanting to move the mound back, they said in the minor leagues, they want to move the mound back another 1 and 6 inches. Well, that could also benefit the pitcher because, you have more of a distance for the ball to travel. So it could hover more against the plate or it just travels more. And then obviously Glasnow, he has a great slider, crazy movement. He utilizes the strike zone, great timing, just a great pitcher. So far, he's having a great season. We saw him struggle a lot the last 2 years, but I think now maybe that third pitch and just utilizing the strike zone more and taking his time is really helping to him. Overall, he is definitely a scary guy, definitely holding up the Rays. And everyone was thinking, once Charlie Morton and Blake Snell left the Rays, everyone said, the Rays are going to be, a difficult team to play. And so far they've been doing good. I think they're 500, maybe a game under 500. As we know, we saw the Yankees kind of got the best of them, but they are playing a game tonight. So maybe I'll tune into that tonight. So that is game 1. In terms of game 2, which is a Saturday game at 1:10, there's not much to be said about it. It should be the opener game. And in terms of the Rays starter, it's still to be dated. And in terms of the Mets starter, it is technically unknown, questionable. It's likely there is going to be a opener. Um, it's just who is that opener going to be? I mean, my recommendation is you put Castro in for an inning or two, or Gazelman in for an inning or two. You put a guy who could probably go, who has experience pitching for amount of innings. So if that's Castro, Gazelman, whoever that consists of. So you have them go for an inning or two just to face, the top of the order and the meat of the order and kind of the dangerous guys. And then you put maybe like a long reliever in like Reed Foley or whoever. I'd say Reed Foley's likely, or Yamamoto or someone. You put one of those two guys in for 3-4 innings to kind of carry out that. So that way, you got 5 innings right there. So then maybe you could switch to the full-on bullpen, and we're going to use a lot of bullpen depth that game, and that's what concerns me now, is because now getting into Sunday's game, which is Sunday at 1:10. We have Marcus Stroman on the bump, but obviously we won't need the bullpen for that game. That game that I stated before is supposed to be DeGrom. I definitely can see, Reed Foley as an opener. I want to get to the comments in a bit, but definitely I'm going to talk about that though. But Marcus Stroman though will be going on the bump for Sunday. It is Sunday, so I'm not sure who's playing ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, but Mets pretty much always do well on Sundays for the most part. So that is a 1:10 game. Of course, we have Marcus Stroman bump on again. To my knowledge, he's used to pitching against the Rays because he was with the Blue Jays. A lot of these guys are new. Same thing with the Orioles when he faced them. So definitely the AL East has definitely switched up since Stroman left the Blue Jays in mid-June or July. Yeah, July, August, whatever, 2019. My goal with Stroman really is to go more innings. We only see he only goes 5-6 innings. So my recommendation for Stroman would to be go 6 innings. That's my recommendation. I don't know. Because I don't know. I just feel he doesn't go very far. That'd be go more innings, less walks, and less ground balls. We know in terms of the last game, that was his goal, was to throw more in the strike zone, more strikeouts. That is Stroman's goal. Someone's, I don't know, outside my room. That's weird. Stroman's goal is to throw more strikeouts, keep the ground ball and the walk rate low. Although he doesn't throw many walks, small ground balls. But definitely, his frame, everything's fine in terms of his mechanics and everything, just more strikeouts. We see that he's using that slider, and I think it's a splitter change or something like that. And I think that's what he is trying to do. Sorry, I keep getting texts at this time. I know I should really shut off my phone. So that is Stroman, and then likely for the Rays, it is still unknown, but it's likely it is going to be Ryan Yarbrough, who is a left-handed pitcher, as we know. He switches sometimes between the bullpen and as a starter. For the most part, he is usually in the bullpen, I think, for my knowledge of the Rays. I'm not a Rays expert or whatever, so far he's been a little inconsistent, as we could see. 3.05 ERA and a 1.2 WHIP in only 20 innings. So I don't know. I feel it's a little high, of course. But like we said, he's usually a bullpen pitcher, so they only have so much time to avenge themselves, I guess you could say. And then he's going to be starting in the rotation rather than the bullpen. And as we know, with him, from my research of him, he uses more of a secondary pitches such as the slider, changeup, and the curveball and a cutter rather than a fastball, which is pretty interesting. I guess a lot of bullpen pitchers typically tend to have more of the heat stuff. So that is in terms of the Mets and Rays series preview. Definitely going to be an interesting preview. So that was good. So pretty much so far, we spoke about the Mets and Orioles series recap, summary, and then the upcoming Mets and Rays series preview in Tropicana Field. The Mets are in Florida as we speak. Yesterday, we saw they did a ton of photo ops at Citi Field. I don't know why they did that, but that was their thing. I don't know. It was funny though. I will say that it was pretty funny. They took a ton of pictures of them like doing a ton of like stuff outside Citi Field. So like Edwin Diaz was in like bathing suits, and what else? I don't know. And then there was some guy in like a mullet shirt or something. I had no idea, but it was pretty weird. It was interesting photos. So please, everyone, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I guess we'll open up the rest of the stream to some questions. I'm going to go over some quick stuff. In terms of the injury updates, there are a ton of we do have some guys on the IL. In terms of McNeil, he's day-to-day, and he was capable of playing yesterday. They put him on the bench, so McNeil's not a problem. With McNeil, he pretty much just left game one because he got a little cocky rounding second base. He kind of be a little show-off, cocky, whatever you want to call it. Thought he could make it to second on a basic single up the middle. Sadly, he got thrown out way before, and I'm guessing he had a cramp from dehydration or just simply stuff like that. So not a big concern. Obviously, he'll be in Florida, so he'll have to hydrate some more. So yeah, I'm not really concerned with that. But in terms of what I read on Twitter, in terms of one key guy who is on the injury list is Brandon Nimmo. We saw that Brandon Nimmo did have a bruised bone in his left hand, as we stated, from the foul ball. So he will begin a rehab assignment for the AAA Syracuse Mets tonight. Per the Mets organization announced and per Anthony DiComo on Twitter. And he is eligible to come off the injury list tomorrow in Tampa Bay if he is ready and the Mets feel he is ready. I'm hoping he's ready. He's been gone for almost 2 weeks. We need him back. Obviously, Nimmo is likely to return first, I believe, and then JD. I don't really know who's more of the precedent to need back. I guess I'd say Nimmo because I guess his defense has been more of an assist, and Nimmo's bat has definitely been helpful. Where JD, his defense has been shaky, but his bat's been helpful. So you gotta look at the numbers and see which one's more helpful. So I guess I'd go Nimmo. So Nimmo should be back any day. McNeil is fine. They just wanted to keep calm with him. So McNeil's fine. Nimmo should be back shortly. And yeah, that's really it. And then Davis is still questionable. I have no idea. He'll probably be another 2 weeks or probably another week. I'd give it another week. He'll be back by I think after this. Well, right now the Mets are on like a southern south trip of the Braves, Rays, and Marlins. So I think after this is the Braves and then the Marlins. So he'll probably be back by the Braves Marlins series, no doubt. So that is in terms of that. And in terms of everything, the runners in scoring position is looking good as stated, and the left on base issue increased a lot during this Orioles series. I'm hoping it could transition into the next couple series. That's always something we want. We saw Khalil Lee, the top seventh or eighth Mets prospect, was called up. I don't know. I don't think he was at Citi Field yesterday. I think if anything, they would have used him as a pitch runner, or whenever the pitcher came out, they were going to use him. So he came off he is on the roster now for the New York Mets because we saw Albert Almora Jr. had that little collide. He had that little collide, as stated, in center field. He went full, and luckily he was able to turn his head like this a little bit before he collided into the wall. But definitely a big jam. I'm looking at it here. I'm watching it. It does not look good. I will say that. But he was fine. He wanted to go back on the field afterwards, but his guys really said no. So, yeah. So that's really that with that. In terms of other news, guys, please drop some questions, comments, and yeah, let's try to keep the chat mature. I guess that's the goal. So yeah, that's really it with that. Of course, like I said, Clearly will be called up. Likely to say he is going to start in the Mets and Rays series, most likely. I'd say that's probably the most reasonable one. And they're probably going to use him as a pitch runner. I don't think they'll start him. Or maybe they will. We'll see. If Nimmo comes back, then they probably won't need to. But I will say, these bench guys have really been helping out. Almora, not so much Almora, but Pilar and Villar. They've been helping out. And, the thing is, these guys were everyday players, and everyone forgets that. Pilar played with the Rockies, the Red Sox. He was an everyday player. I think he was an all-star for one of them in the past. Villar was an everyday player for the Marlins, the Blue Jays. So this guy, he knows what to do. He knows what to do. Is he hot? Yes. But, I think he'll still be a bench player, obviously. I think they'll use him more. If they know, I think now that the Mets know that he's more consistent, maybe they'll use him more. And in terms of Villar, Villar is very flexible. You could place him anywhere. You could place him at second. You could place him at short. You could place him at third. So that's why I like Villar. His defense is a little iffy, in terms of charging the ball and stuff. He isn't that great. So yeah, I don't know. With Pilar, I think Pilar's defense may. I guess no. Yeah, Pilar's defense is probably much more consistent uh, in the fielding in terms of Pilar. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk today. As we know, the pitching's been hot. Everything's been looking good. In terms of this Mets and Rays series, my prediction going in, it is a 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was right on my last one. I said the Mets would take 2 out of the 2 against the Baltimore Orioles, and I was right. So far I've been right. The Mets have 7 games in a row with a W. So that's great. I always enjoy that. I mean, who doesn't enjoy that? So great to hear news about that. In terms of anything else, please drop some comments. We're going to go over a ton of comments, questions, everything. LFGM, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, what's going on? Favorite MLB stadium? Great question, Alex. My favorite MLB stadium that I have been to so far probably has to be Citi Field. I mean, I've only been to Citi Field, Fenway, Yankee, and Marlins Park when I was younger. So, I mean, Citi Field, I mean, maybe probably being a little bit of biased. I mean, Fenway has the historic, nostalgic part to it. But in terms of just being in, modern times realization, probably Citi Field. Although Marlins Park is very gorgeous. It definitely fits into that Floridian culture, that Tropicana, the Tropicana, theme, I guess you could say. Florida's in the tropic climate, so it makes sense. Marlins Park is nice, though. Don't neglect that. I will say, I don't know why Jeter spent so much money on that silly center field walkway, but whatever. We're going to get into that another time. But, yeah, honestly, favorite MLB stadium that I've been to probably has to be Citi Field. In terms of that I haven't been to, Camden Yards is nice. Maybe Dodger Stadium. Trying to think, what's another good stadium? I heard PNC Park is nice. You have the river. Always hits your home runs. I don't know. There's a lot of good stadiums out there. There really are. There's a lot of good stadiums. I do want to go. I definitely that's one thing on my bucket list. Is to go to all 30 MLB stadiums, and I got 4 down. So 26 more to go, unless they create a new team, which we're gonna get. I would like to talk about that at some point. But please, everyone, give this stream a like, comment, subscribe. LFGM, absolutely. Which Mets player will win a goal? That's a great question, Jack. I mean, Marcus Stroman makes a valuable case, although I will say a pitcher winning it is kind of a boring option. To win a Gold Glove in the Mets, I'd probably go. Eesh, that is a good question, man. You really stumped me on that. I guess Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil's really been showing something. In terms of second baseman in the NL, there isn't really that much competition. Colton Wong is, I guess, a valuable case to make. But in terms of that, who else is there really second baseman in the NL that would cause McNeil an issue? I'm trying to think. Let's see what second basemen there are in the MLB. Let's take a look-see. Looking at second baseman. So Jeff McNeil would make an obvious case. I don't think Jonathan. No, he's a short. Yeah, I'll say Albies. Albies has been pretty good. He's an AL. Max Muncy, but I think he's more of a first baseman. I'd really say it's McNeil. I guess Jeff McNeil would be a solid case. And I mean, even if there are other good guys, we see this. He's making wicked plays at second base. And I mean, one guy who wants it is Pete Alonso, and he's definitely been putting in the work. A positive defensive run saves already this season. I made a video on his crazy defense. Please check that out if you can. Alonso could definitely make a case. He expressed he wants a Gold Glove. I don't see any issue with that. I definitely think he can get one. It'll just be in terms of how much effort he puts in and if he could stay consistent. Now it's getting warmer out, so can he still make those plays in the warm weather rather than the cold weather? So yeah, please everyone, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess McNeil could be a fair. Honestly, a lot of these guys can make a fair argument. McNeil, Alonso. I mean, Stroman in terms of pitching, he's pretty wicked. With the glove. Trying to think. Conforto. I mean, he's made a couple great grabs. Yeah, I guess those four guys are a solid argument to make. What's the biggest concern for the Mets? Great question. Baseball is my air. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to be boring and say health, but I mean, in terms of everything, I mean, if you were to ask me in the beginning of the season what was the concern, I'd probably say the defense and the bullpen because the bullpen was still a question. Bullpen's proven me wrong. Bullpen's been electric. We are second best pitching, I think, in terms of the bullpen. I think behind the Padres. Trying to think. I mean, offense has really been clicking. Runners in scoring position has been clicking so far. Offense hasn't quite proved itself to me yet just now. Or now the offense has, but the runners in scoring position hasn't proved to me yet. So I'd say runners in scoring position and health. I mean, but even with the health, I mean, the guys that come up, we have so much depth, they just make up for it. And it's like, Pilar, Villar, it still feels like Nimmo and Davis are still there because they're providing and they're keeping their spot nice and warm for them. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see with that. Yeah, Pete Alonso could definitely win a Gold Glove. I think it's likely. What's going on? What's going on? Drop my notebook. Nito McCann. So far his framing's been pretty good, and I was saying he's so quick. He really is, Nito. Where Phil McCann, he looks a little lost out there. Feel bad for Harvey. Yeah, I did a little. The thing is, I wish Harvey the best of luck, just only when it's not against the Mets. If he's, going against the Mets and stuff, then I really, I don't know. Like, if he's going against the Mets, obviously I don't want him to win. But, so far we've seen Zach Wheeler. We're going to be playing the Blue Jays, so it's likely we could be facing Steven Matz. So facing, three of our great guys, and Harvey, Matz, and Wheeler all in the same season, that's nuts. So I would definitely enjoy to see that. Definitely, no doubt. So yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate, with him. I think he definitely tried the best, and I was glad no one booed him. I mean, you really shouldn't be booing the guy. He doesn't. He put all he could with this team. We really need to say that he really put all he could with this team. Personally, I would have not booed him. I mean, booing him probably wasn't really going to help anything. And it was nice. He got a nice standing ovation, obviously. And I mean, that's really all we can say. But please, everyone, give this video a like, a comment, and a subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing quite a lot coming ahead. So yes, trying to slow down the chat so I can read some of the comments because I definitely rant off, so I miss a lot of the comments. So I want to slow it down a bit. Jonathan Villar's defense looks better than JD. So far, it's looking good. I will say that. I mean, listen, everyone really neglected, our bench. I haven't neglected. I talk so much trash about Villar and Pilar, when they first got with this team. But I mean, they're everyday starters, as stated before. But Villar, he's looking good. He really has. And he's a nice utility guy. I don't want to call him Jeff McNeil, of course, because he hasn't quite been over, playing in over 100 games. But he could be pretty good for this bench. There's the bench mob. I think that's what they're called. LFGM, absolutely. Seriously, didn't he hit he hit a home run today? Is he actually hurt? Seriously? I want to check that. Oh, yeah. FGM, what's going on, man? Wow, so he's hurt, Jonathan. Wow. What happened to him? Because I saw he hit a home run first pitch of the game. I was watching some of the Braves and Blue Jays game before one of my courses started, and he hit a home run first pitch against Ross Stripling. Darn. That really sucks. Yeesh. Yeah, something's been going on with these injuries. I mean, you have so many guys out. I mean, it's coming to a point where, I mean, they're gonna have to. I have no idea. I really don't know. I don't know. But please, everyone, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more great Mets content. Yep, Mets have 7. Yeah, that is true. We are leading the NL East. You know, the thing is, you gotta, think negative, and then you'll get positive results. Just probably got a ton of comments. Zariz, yeah, he's been holding up. He really has. I don't really think he's a speedy guy, so he definitely fits in as that second base category. Hey, great to see you posting videos. What's going on, man? Long time no speak. Yeah, Connor was one of my former teammates on my old high school baseball team. What's going on, man? Well, I'm glad to hear you're here. Yeah, your Red Sox are doing pretty good. I will say that. I know you're like one of those Red Sox Met fans, even though you can't be too, but I really appreciate you coming into the stream, man. It means a lot. Please, everyone, give a round of applause for Connor checking into the stream. One of my great old friends from New York. We haven't seen each other in a while. Him and I are definitely going to have to meet up at some point soon, no doubt. So please, everyone, give Connor a round of applause in the stream, a thumbs up, whatever you guys like to do in the comment section. But yeah, your Red Sox are looking good, so I'll stay with that. I mean, they may get swept against the A's, which I probably wouldn't mind because they are looking good. But yeah, so appreciate that, man. And fast. LFGM, absolutely. Bullpen's fire. Bullpen is fire. I mean, looking at the bullpen, I think our bullpen, I think is the second best in Major League Baseball. I think it's behind the Padres, I want to say. Just our pitching overall, I mean, our pitching depth is so strong and consistent where it's not even funny. Walker's, it was much of a more upgrade than I expected. I didn't think he'd be this good, Walker. Stroman's been elite. DeGrom's been much elite. Peterson's been a bit of a question. Our bullpen's been very consistent. Our depth, our call-ups, and Yamamoto and Reed Foley have really been consistent. So it's showing something. It really is. So I think if anyone were to ask me what team scares me, I think someone may have commented that before, and I'll answer it. In terms of what teams scare me in terms of pitching, I think the only team that could arguably outpitch us in baseball would probably be the Dodgers. Not even the Dodgers. Maybe the Padres. Well, next year the Padres are going to have the best rotation because Clevenger will be back. Snell's been a little iffy, but new team, definitely gonna have to get into that. I'd say Dodgers or Padres. Dodgers or Padres. I'm trying to think in terms of the AL. White Sox. White Sox definitely have a nice lineup. They acquired Liam Hendricks. Trying to think. What's another? Yeah, White Sox, Indians. I mean, the Indians are definitely a powerhouse of developing pitchers. We saw they did it to so many guys, and they let them go. Yeah, I guess in terms of the NL, Dodgers and Padres would be the two most that I'm scared of, and as well as the, yeah. LFGM, absolutely. He doesn't like talking about the Phillies. Yeah, it's a Mets channel anyways, so I don't have much intel for the Phillies. No, I miss Harvey. Yeah, I mean, you probably want him on the Red Sox, but yeah. Oh, yeah, your pitching's been good enough, so I'll say that. LFGM, absolutely. What's going on, Marco? Jack in the Box. Kind of concerned about it. Yeah, definitely. I think that first game, I never gave my predictions for the series preview. I think the Rays are going to take it 2-1. I don't know. Just something I have a bet. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know, honestly. I think it's a 50-50. It's like I'm not confident, but then I'm also not like nervous. The Rays have been a little bit iffy. You know, they got destroyed so far against the Yankees. Trying to think. I don't know. I think it's going to be 2-1. Well, it has to be. Well, I think it's going to be 2-1 either us or 2-1 either them. So I'll let you guys decide who is the 2 wins and the loss. LFGM, absolutely. Nimmo should be back either second or third game in Tampa. Yeah, I'd say the Tampa. I'd say the Tampa. I think Atlanta would be way too long. Davis, that'd be a likely thing for Davis for Atlanta. But yeah. He's pitching third. Third pitch. Oh, Glass now, yeah. So he does have a third pitch. I thought he had he was developing like a slider or something to kind of keep it over the plate. LFGM, absolutely. Reed Foley as an opener. He could potentially be one. I think he could go start 2-3 innings. I think it's likely. I really do. I mean, that's the thing is, when you're in these scenarios, it really comes down to Rojas really has to plan his bullpen, and then you have you have your fifth and your first starter out. One we didn't, yeah. So that's when it comes to an issue. Hey, what's going on, Alec? What's going on, man? I saw the Cubs I saw the Cubs. Well, I think they lost yesterday, right? Yeah. Oh, that's tough. DeGrom's not going to start. That is true. Hey, Hayden, what's going on? What's going on? 6 innings. See, I'm so behind. I don't even know what it's for. Either 6 innings for Stroman or 6 innings for the bullpen game. News on Nimmo. Currently, Alex, the news on Nimmo, as stated before, he is going to a rehab assignment tonight for the AAA Mets Syracuse. So he will be in that rehab assignment tonight. And he could return any day after tomorrow per his discretion, as well as the New York Mets organization. So, yeah, I don't know. But in terms of Nimmo, he has to come back soon. I mean, he definitely chilled out towards the week of his injury with, with his average. But overall, I'm not really concerned with that. Is it huge? LGM, absolutely. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. When Nimmo comes back, what do we do with Pilar? It's a great question. Sorry about that. I keep getting distracted by my phone. I should really put it away. I mean, in terms of him, you put him back on the bench. I mean, we got a lot of strong bench guys. I mean, think about it. Don Smith was a bench player 2 years ago. Was he as he is now? No, but I mean, listen, you give bench guys player times, then they progress. At this rate, I would have no problem with that. Who's your favorite current Met? On the team right now, I'd say Pete Alonso. Of all time, I guess I'd go David Wright, or Piazza, or I guess Seaver in the franchise. LFGM, absolutely. Let's make it 8 in a row. Yeah, I really hope so. I really do. I think it's likely. Mets could have been using. Oh, that would be nuts. Yeah, Rojas. He's been showing himself so far. He's made a little stupid decisions. But yeah, Shea was the best. Yeah, Shea Stadium really was a great stadium. I mean, I only went there twice. and I was very young, so I barely remember. Um, yeah, but Shea Stadium really was a great ballpark. Rojas has these guys playing. Yeah, he's doing good. He hasn't made any too crazy stupid plays so far this series. Or really, he's chilled out with the stupid plays. Anthony, who's the biggest competition for the Mets this year? Phillies or Braves? That's a great question, Anthony. Honestly, I mean, it really depends. So far, this Braves team has not been looking so hot. Now everyone's telling me Acuna's out, so that's going to be a big dent. Trying to think. I mean, it really depends. I feel it's so early in the season. I mean, looking at the Braves, their rotation really hasn't been helping out. Uh, everyone was, bashing, everyone was going, oh, the Braves are going to be great. And, I was kind of on that rodeo too. And then what happened was, Mike Soroka, he had that Achilles tendon issue. And then he wasn't really ready to come back, which, makes sense. You got to be careful with him. He's a young guy. So he definitely, hold on, guys. I'm getting a message. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. I'm getting a message from some people. Sorry about that, guys. I have your full attention now. I will shut off my phone. So yeah, but yeah, in terms of the Braves, their rotation really hasn't planned out to be what they are so far. Like we said, with Soroka, he's been hurt and he has yet to play. Freed's kind of been hurt in the few games he's played. He's kind of been a bust. Smiley's been all right. That Yona guy, whatever his name is, I think he's been the only guy, and I barely know him. So I think that's going to show something. I mean, their offense is solid. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the injuries are getting to them. Darno's out. So they have Contreras' brother up. Trying to think. I mean, at this rate, at this point in time, I'd go Phillies. But for the long end, once in terms of injuries and health and time, I'd go Braves. But I mean, right now, it's you really got to go Phillies because I guess they're the most logical team to say. So far the Phillies have been doing good. They proved me wrong. In the early parts of the season, I said, the Phillies haven't really changed much. They still look like the 2019 selves that are going to be just 500. So yeah, City Field is great. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous ballpark. Gorgeous ballpark. No complaints. Food's great. They got great venues there, great stands. Yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I've been there dozens of times. Always enjoy the experience. They have that Brooklyn Dodgers team type, which it's not a, it's not the Dodgers, but I understand you want to go for that old New York team, I guess. Padres, what is that? Petco Park. Yeah, I've seen a lot of clips and pictures of that stadium. It looks nice. GM, absolutely. What's up? What's going on, man? What's going on? Okay, so he's out for the whole year then. Okay. Colton Wong. Yeah, uh in terms of the Gold Glove, I think it's likely that Colton. I don't know. Colton Wong, has he been that great this year so far? I don't know. Let me know. But I think McNeil. I'm still going with McNeil. I think his defense is definitely a wizard. And now that he has a full-time position, you can actually count him somewhere. What's going on, man? Oh, Jam, absolutely. Yeah, Conforto, he definitely has a chance to make a Gold Glove argument. The thing is, right field is so compact. You got Betts, you got so many guys. You got Harper. There's so many guys in right field. I mean, right field and center field is such compact with talent. I mean, majority of your MVPs are really there, so that's going to be a difficult thing. But You know, if he's making a case to be one of those guys. Jam, exactly. Do we just play Pilar more than usual? Yeah, I mean, you could. The thing about, I mean, these guys are everyday starters. So, I mean, obviously they're a bench player now. But I think we could still use them maybe a bit more. Maybe rather than make, 30, 40 starts, maybe they make, an extra 10 more. I think these guys are really going to still make the same starts. I think if you want to use them more in terms of the ninth inning, I mean, Albert Almora Jr., he's an eighth, ninth inning defensive guy, when you have, like a 6-run lead or something like that. That's when you use those guys. Or, if there's an injury or if there's a doubleheader, then you use those guys. I don't really think, I think once McNeil, I think once Nimmo comes back as well as JD Davis, and I don't really think their needs will be needed here as much. Well, GM, absolutely. Pilar, yeah, he's been doing good so far. I mean, remember, he's been an everyday player. I think he's a past all-star, so he's definitely has talent. LFGM, absolutely. Except on his bat. It's the biggest strength. As it stands today, biggest strength, I guess I gotta go pitching. Biggest weakness, I guess health. My slow mode, nah, because it gets like the chat gets a lot. A lot of guys like comment like one-word stuff, and then I miss all the comments, and I don't even know what everyone's talking about because I spoke about it a while ago. LFGM, absolutely. Dodgers are struggling. Yeah, I think they won their last 2, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won their last 2. Hope Bellinger could return soon. Yeah, I don't know how. Is there any rumor, any news, any rumors about him right now? I don't know. Grom is a legend. Yeah, he definitely is. No doubt. No doubt. Kalanick, yeah, Kalanick is making his major league debut today. I don't know what number he's going to wear. I think it was 10. I made a video on the Jared Kalanick call up. Please, guys, check that out. That was uploaded like 2-3 days ago. So please, if you can, check that video out. Give it a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go down a bit just because. Yeah, Shea Stadium is definitely a great ballpark. I will say that. GM, absolutely. GM, great. Yeah. Beer is $13 at Citi Field. Yeah, the food at Citi Field is very expensive. I remember I went there with my friends and I got like 2 hot dogs and like a Coke, and it was like $30. And I was like, it's that's the thing. I mean, you want to get good attendance rates at Major League Baseball stadiums. Well, maybe make it cheaper. I think it's basic sense that if you make it cheaper, more people are going to come in. So technically, would the money still be the same as what it was for one person, or could it go up because more and more people are coming in? So it's outranking the usual amount with that money. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, I'm a political science major, not so much an economics major, but I have my knowledge in it. But yeah, definitely Citi Field is definitely a very expensive ballpark. I don't think it's the most expensive. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dodger Stadium's probably pretty expensive. I mean, Yankee Stadium is probably pretty expensive. In terms of cheapest, I have no idea. Probably like Tropicana or Marlins Park's pretty cheap. I got tickets for Marlins Park when I went, and it was like $8. Where at Citi Field, it would have been like 20 or 30. So not bad. What's going on, man? LFGM. Why do you think the Mets have been last at homers? Last I checked, it was the Pirates, but maybe the Pirates may have dethroned us. I don't know. I really think Brendan, that's a great question. I think definitely this dead ball has something to do with it. We see so many, we see the contact from the ball to barrel ratio, and it's up. Conforto hit a ton of balls that looked great off the crack of my eye and off the sound. It looked like it was gone. Conforto, had a couple of those yesterday. Alonso had a ton of those. McNeil's had a ton of those, and they've been robbed. They've been 2, 3 feet to 10 feet right off the warning track. and I really want to say the dead ball. I mean, there's definitely been less homers, this year. I mean, 11 home runs leading the Major League Baseball. That's average. But in terms of a lot of guys who are expected to hit more, like Judge, Alonso, definitely is very interesting. I think the dead ball has something to do with that because there's so many balls, and you just see it. It goes, ooh, it just goes down in an instant. It goes through the warning track and it goes gone. Where, half of these balls I see, the one that Conforto hit the other day, that was 2019, 2020, that would have been gone. So I think the ball definitely has to do something with that. But in terms of home run, I mean, just because you're home, I understand. Oops, sorry, I think I lost some connection. I think it really comes down to. Shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry, I lost some connection. But I think it really comes down to just trying to get on base, and maybe that's not their approach. Maybe they have a different approach. But I think if McNeil's getting his power back, so McNeil's had a couple hits that have been traveled farther. But I don't know. I think the home run derby we'll really see because that's supposed to be a Coors Field. I'm sure all you know about the Coors effect. So that's going to be the real test to see about the dead balls, really. Who's been the most disappointing team so far? Most disappointing, let's look at the standings. In terms of, I'll give the AL, NL, and then both. All right, sorry about that, guys. But in terms of that, yeah, having some internet issues. In terms of worst, let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me fine. Just drop a LFGM or something if you could hear me well. Someone drop a comment. I have no idea if you guys can hear me, actually. Hold on, let me pull on my phone. I'll join my stream. Give me a minute. All right, can you guys hear me? All right, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care if the screen's blurry. That's not a big deal. I think people want to more hear me rather than see me. So yeah. So pretty much worst team, I think in baseball or most disappointing team. I guess worst and disappointing are different, but in terms of disappointing, I guess I'd go. I don't know. It's a great question. I guess the Braves. The Braves have been a disappointment. 3 games under 500. Probably the Braves. Royals, yeah, the Royals have they've been struggling. Braves have been struggling. Atlanta had cheap beer. They seem to have fun, hate the team, but at least they're economical. Yeah. Listen, I think ballparks, they really, they want to expand baseball. Listen, if you're a baseball fan or not, always going to the ballpark's an enjoyable experience. But I think, they want to, keep up and, get fans involved and get people going to the ballpark more. Well, then simply enough, have it cheaper. Have everything cheaper. I live in Texas. Oh, really? Okay, I'll have to check that out. Globe Life. It's either Globe Life Field or Globe Life Stadium. I don't know which one's the new and old one. Nice. Yeah, Braves have definitely been struggling. Nah, I hope not. All right, so you guys can sort of hear me. Cubs are disappointing. That's their new pro franchise. Yeah, definitely had an interesting World Series slump. All right, that's good. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, yeah, the Twins, too. I forgot about the Twins. Yeah, so Braves, NL, Twins, AL, and I guess Twins overall. And Byron Buxton's hurt, so that kind of sucks. But please, everyone, give this video a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more great Mets content. Definitely going to keep the stream going for a bit. Drop some more comments, questions, whatever you guys want. We'll keep the stream going for a bit more. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. So you guys can hear me then. I just wanted to make sure. And yeah, we're going to talk about a ton more stuff. Royals have been bad. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really high on the Royals. I mean, everyone's like, oh my goodness, the Royals are in first place in overall in the AL. Wow. Now, teams start off and then they go, then they kind of dial down to reality. That's how teams work. All teams dial down to reality, and then there's teams that are bad, and then they start to get well. So you can't run around and just think a team's going to be good. And then once they start to get bad, you give up on them. I mean, kind of like with the Mets, everyone was saying, oh, everyone was expecting us to go into this, this series, 20-1. And it really didn't really go so far. I mean, we started off 2-3, and remember, the 1986 Mets started off 2-3, so you got to believe. But I just think overall, a lot of people had a different mindset of, we've never really been involved. We've never really had an active owner in Steve Cohen. The Wilpons, they were always quiet. They were miserable. They're like the miserable cartoon character in young kid TV shows or something like that. They don't want to do anything exciting for the fans or any events. Whereas Steve Cohen, he's going to do that. So it's definitely going to be a new experience. Phil Chris Bryant will go to the Mets before the deadline. Yeah. I know he got pulled out because of allergies, and everyone was flipping out saying he got traded mid-game, and then McNeil got traded out mid-game. So everyone was saying there was a trade, but I didn't believe that. That was a bunch of bogus. But in terms of Chris Bryant, yeah, he's definitely a good player. He's the whole Cubs started off in a slump. Baez they weren't hitting. They just were flat out not hitting. I mean, their team had a batting average of like 100, way below the Mendoza line. But so far they're coming back. Baez has gone down to reality a bit more, or gone up to reality a bit more. Trying to think. Bryant has been getting in some MVP talks. They're getting up there. Twins are losing. They're playing right now. Yeah, I don't know. What game are you guys gonna watch tonight? Let me know in the comment section below. What game are you guys gonna watch tonight? Because there's no Mets baseball. So typically when there's no Mets playing, I usually watch another game. So let me know in the comment section what game I should watch tonight. I don't know. Maybe Yankees and Rays. No one is going to be surprised of the Royals. Well, I'm talking baseball. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. Live in Arizona, see. That's fair. It's Arizona. Florida, too. Trevor Lawrence, yeah, NFL. NLGM, absolutely. Cubs are interesting. Yeah, they're starting to come down. Do I think they are favorites to win the division? No. But do I think they're going to be in contention? Probably. How old are you? Yeah, I know I look like I'm 13, but I'm actually 19. Don't worry. I know. I probably look like I'm 12 on the stream. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. How old do you guys think I am in the comments? I don't know. Some people tell me I look like my age, and then some people think I'm like 12. I don't know. Although, and then I just prove them wrong. I was like, how many 12-year-olds drive? And then they're like, that's true. I'm going to, oh yeah, Mariners and Indians. That probably makes sense. Zach Plesac, and I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's Justin Dunn, maybe? Maybe a nice little matchup. I'd probably watch that. Love my Cubbies, yeah. You're a Cubs fan, Cubs Nation, I could tell. Gonna watch the Mariners. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll probably watch that game. I do have MLB TV, so I probably MLB TV is not that bad. $159. I don't mind it. 14, 15. Doesn't matter. No, that's true. That is true. That's the thing. My articulation saves me. You look like you're 16. I'll take it. Damn, that's tough. Everyone's thinking I'm 15. Logan. Oh, yes, I did hear about that too. One of their pitching prospects is being called up. So you're going to have 2 debuts tonight. So that'll be nice. Definitely is going to pay me to see me to watch Jared Kelenic go back to baseball. It's going to be nuts to see him. I mean, will he start off hot? I don't know. I mean, a lot of guys, are very questionable. Like Byron Buxton, he was the first overall pick, and he was kind of questionable. And now he's starting to get out there. Unfortunately, he got injured, and that kind of halted him. But I think it's still questionable. Fair enough. You look young but older. Okay, that's interesting. I'll take it. Watch Jared imagine. And it's so stupid with the Kelenic thing because if you think about it, Kelenic could have easily saved a lot of issues. I mean, everyone, Dom Smith, I mean, I think it's time almost to move on with Dom. He has so much talent and he's a first baseman, but let's be real, Pete Alonso is the full-time first baseman. There's no way he's giving it up. I mean, whether the DH comes or not, Alonso's not going to be the DH. He stated it. Everyone stated it. I think in terms of Alonso, it's going to be a question. It really is. But no, I take that back. Alonso's not going to be a question. I don't know why I said that. I say a lot of things randomly at times. But Alonso is the everyday first baseman. It just comes down to Dom Smith is what do you do with him? And that's the thing is you don't want to waste his talent. He's a first baseman. Put him on a team where he could play first base. So that's the thing. It really is. And, if we had Kelenic now, we could have shifted Nimmo into left, plopped Kelenic in center, and then kept Conforto in right. Nimmo in left, Kelenic in center, and Conforto in right. That's pretty solid right there. I'm not going to lie. That's a nice defensive upgrade. LFGM, absolutely. Say 18 injury youth. Yeah, definitely. People tell me that when you get older, you look back at it. So that is valid. It's sadly enough Kelenic. Yeah, Brody Van Wagenen really. After just saying the words Brody Van Wagenen post and then farm system, I'm surprised we could still say the term we have a farm system after the Brody Van Wagenen era. How many prospects, silly, ridiculous moves. And I mean, listen, I don't want to bash on this trade completely because we don't know how it's going to pan out. I mean, Kelenic can come up and he could be a dud. But, I mean, it's likely he's going to be something. But, I mean, so far it's been pretty bad. I mean, Cano's been a bust. He tested positive for the PEDs. So he's done. And then they're going to dump his contract or just pay him. And then in terms of Diaz, if he's proven himself so far, but not fully. We could put, but I mean, it's going to be one of those two. And even DH, I'd rather Davis as the DH, if anything. So that's the thing. I mean, it's either you're going to ship off JD Davis or you're going to ship off Dom Smith. I'd rather ship off Dom Smith because JD Davis, I have more faith in him. I'm going to say it because we've seen Davis do it in a full season where with Smith we haven't. Unless you put Smith on the bench, which I don't think he's going to want that. And I mean, he's an everyday player. Potentially, and he's a first baseman. So I'd say trade Dom. Let him express his talent as a first baseman on another team. I just don't think it's with the Mets, sadly. And obviously, Davis would be the most likely DH category, but I don't even think there is going to be a DH because MLB doesn't want it. What do you do with Dom? Yeah, that's what I said, DH. Or if you want to trade him, if you want to throw him in I wouldn't be too ashamed of a Mets athletics deal. I mean, the Mets GM not GM, the Mets president of operations, Cindy Alderson, does have relations with the Athletics, the whole Moneyball thing. He was former member of the Athletics organization, so he definitely has relations over there. So, I mean, I'm down to, a nice blockbuster trade, maybe Chapman, Ramon Laureano, and maybe a nice little prospect. And in terms of the Mets, like Smith and some prospects or something, I'm down. But not obviously Francisco Alvarez and those guys are going to stay. And then in terms of the Cubs, I mean, the Cubs have no farm system. If you could tell me how many prospects do the Cubs have in their top 100? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Check the Nationals. I mean, Carter Kieboom for the Nationals was the last one that was called up, and I think he's going to be it for a while. I appreciate it. I always appreciate it. LFGM. Imagine he was still the GM. Oh yeah, no, it's not surprised he got fired. I'm surprised that there's some still people uh, that were in the Will Hunter that are still in the Mets. I'm surprised Cohen didn't just go in there and clean house completely. But I mean, I guess some guys had a relationship with some of the guys, and I mean, all the stuff going on for Trey Dom. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's an MVP guy, but you could definitely get some nice prospects for him in return. Diaz has his moments. Yeah, Diaz definitely does. He definitely does. ESPN and MLB just got a 7-year extension. Oh, very good. Some more Sunday Night Baseball. I remember when they had, was it Tuesday Night Baseball? I'm ready for the end of the summer, ready to see. Me too, man. Me too. I mean, I live in sunny Florida. I'm done with all my courses and stuff for the semesters and stuff. Well, I'm almost done, I should say. I have a couple more exams and stuff to take. But once that's done, I'm all baseball on. So yeah, that's gonna be great to see. It really is. I'm gonna go to a ton of Marlins games because I live in Miami. I live an hour north of Miami, so I'm definitely gonna go to a ton of Marlins games. I'm gonna try to go up to New York, go to some Met games. I know the Mets come down here, play the Marlins shortly, but I unfortunately cannot go to that. But I think they come down again in August, so I definitely will go to that. So please, everyone, we're probably gonna end this stream shortly. So please drop your final comments, questions, anything else. Are you into music? I am. I'm a bit into country music, to be honest with you. Not really into rap. Yeah, country and like classic. Not really rap or anything. I'm not too into that. He's a rapper. LFGM, absolutely. Baseball is my air. You're the king of saying that. No, it's fine. I don't care. But please, everyone, forgot to put the banner on. Well, may as well put it on now. But please, everyone, drop some more final questions, comments, baseball, whatever you want to talk about. We had a great stream as always. We always have great conversation here. We had some new people I did see. Fair amount of new people, so I appreciate that. I do not. No. Live in Florida, jungle swamp, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. We could trade for a little bit. I'll throw on I have my Randy Johnson jersey. I'll throw it on. What's the next stream? Next stream will be the day after the Mets and Rays are finished. So it'll likely be Monday. I'll probably do it Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if there's a game on. I think there is a game on Tuesday. I think they fly to Atlanta immediately after. So probably Monday or Tuesday. And in that, we will be going over the Mets and Rays series recap and the Mets and Braves series preview, as well as if there's any other news. Maybe Khalil Lee will be called up, so we'll talk about that. Any other news? We'll be talking about that. Yes, we'll be on tonight. I think it'll be postponed till 8. So usually it's at 7. Tonight it will be 8. Great video. I appreciate it, man. Always appreciate everyone checking in. Have you done a video showing off your Mets stuff yet? I have not. I was debating about doing it a video or a live stream. The thing with like live stream is I do it on my computer, so I'd have to switch it to my phone. Maybe it'd be nice that way, like people could see it, they could comment if they have any questions or something. I could explain more into it. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. I mean, I have so much stuff. Just the walls itself is one thing, but the dressers in there, those 2 dressers in there are definitely something. Definitely something. So yeah, I just want to appreciate everyone for chiming in. We're probably going to call it a stream here. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always, we had a great crowd of people. As always, yeah, I know Khalil Lee got called up. I probably stuttered my my words. I don't know what I said. But yeah, I just want to appreciate everyone for coming in. Great stream as always. Please drop some final comments, questions, anything. And yeah, we will call it a stream for the day. Hopefully the Mets get the W, the series win, whatever we could do, I'll go for it. Hopefully DeGrom's back soon. He's on the 10 IL as stated. But yeah, otherwise we had a great stream as always. I always appreciate everyone tuning in. You know, we know how much I enjoy these streams and all the loyal people that check in. We have 29 likes. I'm hoping we can get to 30. If you have not liked this stream, please do. Let's try to get to 30 likes. I think we got it yesterday, so let's try to do it again. If not, it's not the end of the world. We'll get them next time. So yeah, drop some more final comments, questions. We're going to wrap this up in less than a minute. Great stream overall. Talked about the Mets and Orioles series recap, summary, as well as the Mets and Rays series preview. Great stream. I appreciate it. See you, brother. Yes. Lucchesi is pitching Sunday. Oh, so that's official? That's fair. What shows do I watch? I'm not really a whole big TV person. I mean, I watch a lot of the news, baseball, obviously. I watch a lot of documentaries, a lot of historical documentaries. Very into. I'm a future history major, so that's very one thing I like to watch. I watch Modern Family, The Office, some comedy satire shows. So yeah. So we're going to call it a stream here, everyone. Disney Plus is a valid one. We're going to call it a stream here, everyone. I appreciate everyone tuning in. See you. Yeah, so I appreciate everyone tuning in. Please give this video a like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends about this channel. Share it with one person. That's all you have to do is one person. Share it with your grandparents, your dog. I can care less. Views a view. Subscriber's a subscriber. Doesn't matter who it is. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. We got some great faces, even some new faces. I hope to see the new faces in the next stream. So yeah, I'll talk to you next time, baseball fans. Till next time, baseball fans. See ya. LFGM.